storage for the databases on it. So if you do want to do research from your home computer, you'll have that available. With the EBSCOhost database, you need the username and password even if you're here in the library. Okay. So we're at the library's homepage. The link we're going to go to is the database link here. And we're going to click on this little icon with the computer monitor on it. And that will take you to our list of databases. Proquest is a database that contains magazine and newspaper articles. It covers just about any topic you can think of. It's more of a general database. EBSCOhost is our medical database. It has nursing journals and medical journals, no newspapers, and it doesn't have any kind of popular magazines in it. For the most part, they're research articles. So for this assignment, we're going to use EBSCOhost. So we click on the icon for EBSCOhost. It's going to take you to a login screen. So that information is on the handout I gave you. It's also in the brochure. And this is not case sensitive. I don't think it matters if you put it in upper or lowercase. It should take you in. Okay. So once you get logged in, it takes you to this screen where they're asking you to choose a database. There's actually two databases within EBSCO, CINAHL and Health Source Nursing. We're going to search both of these so we can get as many results back as we can. So to search both of these, there's a box up here that says select, select all. So we're going to check that box off because I want to search both the databases at the same time. Then we just click on the continue button. It'll pop us over to our search screen. This is kind of a busy search screen. I'm not too crazy about it, but for the purposes of the assignment you're doing, you're just doing a real basic search on a type of cancer, so it's going to be pretty straightforward. So in that top box there, I'm just going to type in breast cancer. I'm going to enclose the two words in quotation marks. That'll just force the database to search for those two words in that precise order instead of doing a general keyword search. Okay. Now there's a couple other things we want to do before we do the search in this database. You're going to need the actual articles. So you'll want to come down below here where it says full text, this little box there. We want to check that box off. That way it filters out any citations that don't include the article itself. Okay. One more thing we want to check off. We need articles that are from a specific type of publication, a peer-reviewed or scholarly journal. So we're going to check off the box here where it says peer-reviewed. Okay? And that'll limit our search to that specific type of publication. So we have full text and peer-reviewed checked. We got our search terms up here, so we're just going to click on the search button. Okay. So we get our search results back. We got 12,191 articles, so lots of articles to choose from. We need articles that were published within the most recent 6 months, however. So what we need to do is we need to sort our results. So where it says relevant sort here in this blue bar, we're going to click on that. And we're going to select date descending. And that step is on the handout I gave you, so if you forget this, just follow the handout. So what that does is just resorts the results. So the most current articles should be at the very top. And so you just work your way back. You just don't want to pick any article that's older than 6 months. Okay. So this top one here was published January 2012. Okay. So what you're looking at here, because you're going to have to cite these using APA, okay, what you're looking at here, the blue text up at the top, that is the title of the article. Down below it, they list the authors. So all these people, these are the authors of this article. You've got the title of the publication date, volume, issue numbers, paging, all the basic citation information you need to cite your source. You're going to need 3 of these. Okay. So there's one thing you want to be careful of as you're going through here. Don't just pick out the first 3 articles and assume that they're all going to be research studies, because a lot of these journals, they publish a lot of research studies, but they also publish a lot of letters to the editors and book reviews and editorials and just brief news items. Those are not considered research studies. So one way you can kind of not bother with those, look at the length of the article here article. So this one's 13 pages. Okay, that's chances are that's a research study. Okay, if it says 1, 2, 3, or 4 pages here, chances are I wouldn't even bother looking at it. It's probably just some kind of news item or review or something. So this is 13 pages. We're going to take a look at it just to make sure that it really is a research study. So down here where it says PDF full text, that'll bring up the article. So the assignment says you can either print these out or copy and paste them, or if you're submitting it via email, you can send it as an attachment. If any of you have worked with PDF files, copy and paste has been a very good option for PDF. So you probably just want to use this format, just save it to your flash drive and then submit it as an attachment in your email. Okay. So here's a good clue. Research article tells us right at the top. So, but if it doesn't say research article, a couple things to look at. These research studies, they're written by multiple authors typically. So this one's got, 7 or 8 authors. Okay. These individuals are typically like professors or doctors or researchers, and so they'll tell you, these people are all affiliated with universities in various places. So that's a good sign. Some other things you can look at the headings that you use in the articles. So you'll see things like, methodology, introduction, results. There's typically a lot of these charts and graphs and tables. So these are all signs of a research study. The last thing you want to look at, go to the very end of the article and see if they list any references. Typically a research study will have like an entire page of references. So where they got, whatever research they did, they're basing it on research that has already happened, that's been published. And this file's just taking a long time to load because the PDF files are really big. I must have a slow computer up there. So I'm not going to wait for this to download. But at the end of this article, I'm assuming there's a bunch of references. So this looks, based on all the information we have, length of the article, number of the authors, the layout, this would probably, if you were doing breast cancer research, this would probably be an article you could use and you'd be just fine. Okay? So you can download the PDF, you can save it, you can print it out. But again, like I said, copy and paste with PDF format usually doesn't work very well. Okay. So again, you need to find 3 of these research studies, and just be careful, like I said, you don't want to choose any really short articles. Let's see if I can find an example. So for example, this article is 2 pages in length. If we look at that, you can tell right away it's not going to be a research study because there's really nothing here. It's just kind of a brief news item. It's like 1 page in length. Okay, so you want to avoid stuff like this. Does that make sense? And like I said, save it, print it out. Those are the options you got for that. So questions about using the EBSCOhost database? You can access this if you're off campus. Just go to our homepage, follow the instructions on the handout, and go right into it. Okay. I'm going to go back. I'm just going to go into Proquest real quickly. I didn't give you detailed instructions on searching Proquest, but it's different database, but it's pretty much the same principle. Whoops. Get back to our home page. So again, under databases, you'll see Proquest here. So completely different screen. You see you got the same options here. You want to check off full text. You want to check off scholarly peer review before you do your search. Okay. So if you're using Proquest, make sure those 2 are checked off. Type in your search. And here we got 13,000 articles. Proquest automatically sorts it, so the most recent articles will be at the top of the list. So January 2012 is at the very top, so we don't have to worry about sorting this. But the same information, title of the articles in blue, you got the authors, title of publication, all the volume issue, paging, all that stuff down here. And then the options for viewing the article. Okay. Proquest does a lot of what they call just full text, not the full text PDF. The difference being full text is just that. It's just the plain text of the article. So if there's any kind of charts or graphs, Proquest is not going to show those to you. They'll give you the text of the article, but not any of the images at all. So this you could copy and paste into a Word document, but with a PDF you can't do that. I did, however, at the bottom of the handout, I didn't talk a lot about Proquest, but at the bottom of the handout is the user ID and the password for Proquest if you do want to access it off campus. Okay. So any questions about getting into the databases or identifying the type of research studies that you need for part one? Okay. So that's part one. You're going to need to, like I said, cite the sources using APA, but we'll talk about APA in a minute. I want to go on to part two for right now. So part two of the assignment, you need 2 web pages, websites with reliable, accurate information geared toward a healthcare professional that includes treatment protocols for whatever type of cancer you're researching. Okay. So the way you can do this is just go to Google. We use Google as our search engine for this. Okay. And I'm actually going to use the advanced search feature in Google. If you've never used advanced search in Google, way up in the right upper hand corner here, there's a little icon of a gear. If you click on that, it'll bring up the option to go into the advanced search feature in Google. Whoops. Oh, no, it didn't.